I moved into this house about 6 months ago. It's an old place, wooden walls, uneven floors, and that constant faint smell of dust and rain. I bought it cheap, too cheap, probably, but I didn't care. It was quiet, far from neighbors, and perfect for some peace after everything I'd been through. The real estate agent mentioned there was some kind of crawl space under the house. I didn't think much of it, just one of those dark, narrow spots nobody ever uses. But ever since I moved in, I hear things, not loud, just small soft sounds at night. A soft tap 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 under the floorboards, sometimes closer, sometimes right under my bed. I told myself it was mice, maybe the pipes, but pipes don't whisper. The first time I heard it clearly, I was half asleep. A voice, faint, almost like someone trying not to wake me. It said, "Are you awake?" I sat up so fast and I almost fell off the bed. Everything went down quiet, that quiet. I didn't sleep that night. The next morning I checked under the bed. Nothing. The floorboards looked solid, but when I pressed my ear against them, I swear I heard something breathing. I went outside to look under the house. There's a small wooden hatch near the back wall, covered in cobwebs. The, the handle was rusty but warm, like someone had touched it not too long ago. I pulled it open, shining my flashlight inside. Just dirt, pipes, and wooden beams. Then, at the far end, I saw something move. It looked like a hand, pale, too thin, pulling back behind a beam as soon as the light hit it. I backed away and shut the hatch hard. That night, the tapping came again, louder, more impatient. Then came the whisper, "You saw me." I froze in the bed. My phone was dead, of course. The charger had been pulled off the wall. Then came the creaking, slow, heavy footsteps moving under the floor from one end of the room to the other. I, I ran outside and slept in my car until sunrise. The next day, I called a friend to help me to check it out. Of course, he laughed, though it was really, really bad, and he thought that I was overreacting. We opened the hatch again. He went in first with a flashlight, crawling through the dust. "Nothing here," he said, "just spiders and..." Boom, he stopped. I'll never forget the sound his voice made next. He whispered, "There's a door." I thought that he was joking, but I saw it too. A small wooden door half buried in the dirt with, with a rusted handle. It wasn't a part of the house plans. My friend reached for it, but before he could touch the handle, something knocked back from the other side 3 times. He dropped the flashlight, scrambled out, and covered in dust, shaking. We sealed the hatch with bricks that same day. I tried to move out a week later. The realtor didn't return my calls. Nobody wanted to buy the house. So I stayed. Now, every night around 3 to 4 a.m., I hear it again. Tapping, whispering, breathing. And just before it stops, right beneath my bed, I hear a voice. Calm, almost polite. It said, "You never opened the door." Sometimes I wonder what would happen if I did, but I don't plan on finding out. The hatch is sealed, at least. I think it is. It's been 3 weeks since I sealed the hatch. I still hear it, the faint knocking under the floor. Always the same pattern. 3 slow taps. A pause, then one harder. Like it's waiting for me to answer. I try to drown it out, but noise, music, even sleeping pills, but nothing works. The house feels alive now, like it's breathing with me, creaking when I move, sighing when I stop. Last night, I woke up to a cold draft. The window was closed, the door was locked, but the smell of dirt, that thick, dry scent from under the house, filled the room. I checked the hatch again this morning. The bricks I sealed it with, they shift. Not fallen, not broken, shift. Like something pushed from the inside. I called the same friend who helped me before. He didn't answer. When I finally reached him later that evening, his voice sounded strange. He said, "You shouldn't have covered it. It makes me angry." Then he hung up. That night, I couldn't sleep around 3 and 10 a.m. I heard something new. A dragging sound like fingers sliding along wood coming from beneath the bed. I got up, flashlight shaking in my hand. The tapping started again, but faster this time. Then silence and a whisper clearer than ever before. "It's open now." I ran outside barefoot into the rain, waited until morning in my car. When I came back inside, the floor near the bed was cracked. Not much, just a small gap between the boards. I couldn't see through it, but I swear I heard something breathing. I decided to record it. I left my phone on the floor overnight, camera pointed down. In the morning, the battery was dead. When I charged it and checked the footage, most of it was black. But around 3 and 12 a.m., there's a movement. The floorboards bulge upward just slightly, and something like a hand presses against them from underneath. You can see the outline, long, bony fingers. The sound that follows is not human. It's low, wet, like someone exhaling through water. Then the camera tilts and the phone slides down to the bed on its own. That's when the recording cuts out. I packed my things that day. When I went to the car, my friend was parked across the street. He looked pale, shaking, and I walked over, and before I could say anything, he said, "You can't leave. It doesn't stay in the house." I asked what he meant. He looked past me toward my bedroom window and whispered, "It follows the one who wakes it." I turned back. The curtain moved. No wind, no reason, just movement. I haven't been back since, but I still see the light even from here. Every night at 3 and 12 a.m. it flickers to the trees, like it's waiting for me to come. It's been 4 nights since I left the house. I've been staying in a motel a few miles away, but sleep doesn't come easy here either. Every night at the same time, 3 and 12 a.m., the power flickers. The TV turns itself on, showing static, and for a split second, I swear, I can see my old room reflected in the screen. The same wooden floor, the same bed, and sometimes the faint glow from beneath the boards. I thought leaving would stop it, but my friend was right. I didn't stay behind. Last night, I heard it again. That low humming sound, the one I thought it came from the pipes, but there are no pipes here, just thin water. The sound came from the floor vent near my bed. I moved closer, listening. A whisper came through. "It's waiting." I couldn't take it anymore. I packed a flashlight, a crowbar, and drove back to the house before sunrise. The windows were fogged from the inside. The front door was cracked open. Inside, everything was wrong. Dust in the air, furniture shifted slightly. My old phone, the one that recorded the last video, was sitting on the kitchen table. I hadn't left it there. was still recording. I played it back, all static, then a faint voice, my voice, whispering words I never said. Open the door. I went to the bathroom. The air was cold and heavy. The floorboards where the crack had been were now warped, bent upward like something underneath was pushing. I grabbed the crowbar and pried the boards loose. Underneath was dirt and a small wooden door, the same one from before, only now it wasn't sealed, it was slightly open. The, the smell that came out was unbearable, damp earth and rot. I turned on the flashlight, the beam flickered as it hit the darkness below. You want me to open it? I whispered, half to myself. The whisper came back immediately. Please. The word didn't sound human. It stretched low and breathy, like something learning how to speak. I hesitated, my hands were shaking, then I pulled the door open. A tunnel stretched down, dirt walls lined with the old wooden beams. The air felt alive, vibrating with that same hum I'd heard for weeks. I climbed down slowly. Each step made the walls groan. The tunnel ended in a small room, barely big enough to stand in. There was something in the corner, a shape, crouched low, facing the wall. I raised the flashlight. The light flickered once, twice, then held steady. What I saw wasn't right. It looked like person, but the skin was stretched too tight, too pale. Its hands were long, fingers bending the wrong way. It turned its head slowly towards me. No eyes, just dark, empty holes. Why did you leave? It asked. The voice wasn't coming from its mouth, it was coming from everywhere. From the walls, from the floor, from inside my head. I stumbled back, dropped the flashlight, the room went dark. Then something grabbed my ankle, cold, thin fingers digging into my skin. I kicked free and ran, up the tunnel, through the floor, out the door. I didn't stop until I reached the road. I looked back once. The, the house was glowing from underneath, light leaking through the cracks, too bright and unnatural. And in the window, my window, something stood there, watching, still, and waiting. I called the police the next morning. They searched the property. No tunnel, no door, no sign of anything beneath the floor. They said the foundation was solid. They said I was imagining it. But last night back on the motel, I woke up to the same hum again. The air vent was open, and there, pressed against the metal grating, were 5 long pale fingers. The whisper came one last time, soft, close, and clear. You opened it. Now it's your turn to wait.